Sometimes love doesn't end, but trust does. And once trust is broken, all that remains are memories. Today's story is about a woman who tried to find peace and start over, but her past refused to let her move on. Her name was Li Yang. Li Yang was preparing to begin a new chapter in her life. She had decided to leave her past behind forever and was getting ready to marry again. She wanted to focus only on building a better future for herself and her child. But there was one person who simply could not accept her decision. That person was Chen Bing. Chen Bing insisted that he was still deeply in love with Li Yang. However, according to Li Yang, what once felt like love had turned into constant pressure and fear that filled her life with anxiety. She explained that after their breakup, Chen Bing sent her hundreds of messages. Day and night, her phone never stopped ringing. If she didn't answer, he would call her parents, visit their home, and disturb their daily lives as well. At first, Li Yang tried to remain patient. She believed that with time, Chen Bing would eventually accept the reality of the breakup. But that never happened. With each passing day, the situation became even worse. Finally, Li Yang blocked his phone number. But blocking his number didn't solve the problem. Feeling that she had no other choice, she reached out to a group of reporters. She had only one request. Please help him understand that our story is over. When the reporters later contacted Chen Bing, they heard a completely different version of the story. Taking a deep breath, Chen Bing said, "I never betrayed her. I just want her back." He explained that 2 years earlier, he had met Li Yang at a friend's gathering. From their very first meeting, they felt an instant connection. A few meetings soon turned into love. Both of them had gone through failed marriages, and perhaps it was that shared pain that brought them closer together. They also both had children from their previous relationships. According to Chen Bing, he truly believed fate had given them a second chance, and they were going to build a new life together. But then, everything suddenly changed. One day, Li Yang told him that she wanted to return to her ex-husband. The moment he heard those words, it felt as if his entire world had stopped. He simply couldn't believe that the woman who had once promised to stay by his side could suddenly walk away from everything. Feeling helpless and desperate, he began sending her message after message. He kept asking, "I just want one answer. Why?" But that answer never came. Chen Bing convinced himself that Li Yang still loved him and that everything was nothing more than a misunderstanding. Li Yang, however, insisted that her decision had already been made and that she wanted to move forward with her new life. Now the question was, who was telling the truth? Did Li Yang really make her decision only for the sake of a better future? Or was Chen Bing simply a heartbroken man searching for the answers he desperately needed? To uncover the truth, the reporters decided to bring them face to face. But they had no idea that this meeting would become far more than a simple conversation. It was about to turn into an emotional storm that would change everything. The reporters spent more than 10 days trying to arrange a face-to-face meeting between Li Yang and Chen Bing. Several meetings were scheduled, but each one was cancelled for one reason or another. Finally, the long-awaited day arrived. The moment Li Yang walked into the room, Chen Bing fixed his eyes on her. His face revealed a mixture of anger, heartbreak, and one last spark of hope. Slowly, he walked toward her and said in a trembling voice, "Li Yang, please, just listen to me one last time. I still love you. Come back to me. We can start everything over again." Without the slightest hesitation, Li Yang replied, "It's over, Chen Bing. I'm not here to change my decision." The moment those words left her mouth, the expression on Chen Bing's face changed completely. Raising his voice, he shouted, "You're lying. You promised me that one day you would come back." Li Yang immediately shook her head. "I never made that promise. I ended this relationship a long time ago." With every passing second, the atmosphere in the room became more intense. Both of them accused each other of lying, while the reporters repeatedly asked them to stay calm. Then Chen Bing made another startling claim. He said, "Even after you returned to your ex-husband's home, we continued seeing each other on and off for nearly a year. If our relationship was really over, then why did you keep meeting me?" The room suddenly fell silent. Every eye turned toward Li Yang. She took a deep breath before answering. Yes, there was a time when I was confused. I honestly thought about giving our relationship another chance. But after every meeting, I became more certain that we were not meant to be together. Chen Bing immediately responded. If you hadn't given me hope, I would never have fought so hard to get you back. As the argument continued, Li Yang revealed a truth that shocked everyone in the room. She explained that her ex-husband's family had recently received substantial compensation from the government after their old property was demolished. In addition to financial compensation, they were given a brand new 6-story house. Surprised, one of the reporters asked, "Was that the reason you decided to return to your ex-husband?" Li Yang remained silent for a few moments. Then she quietly answered, "I won't lie, it did influence my decision. My child deserved a safe and secure future. I chose to think about my child's life before my own feelings." She continued, "My ex-husband has intellectual disabilities, but his family can provide the stability and security that I wanted for my child." Those words shattered Chen Bing. Unable to hide his pain, he said angrily, "So in the end, you chose money and security over love?" Li Yang looked at him calmly and replied, "No. I chose peace. I chose a life where every single day isn't filled with fear, arguments, and emotional exhaustion." Her words left the room in complete silence once again. Chen Bing opened his mouth to respond. But this time, he couldn't find the words. Yet the most intense and emotional moment of the entire story was still about to unfold. As the atmosphere finally began to calm down, one of the reporters asked Li Yang one final question. "Was there ever a moment when you considered going back to Chen Bing?" Li Yang remained silent for a few moments. Then, in a quiet voice, she answered, "Yes, there was a time when I thought about giving our relationship another chance. I believed that maybe things could get better." Hearing those words, a spark of hope returned to Chen Bing's eyes. But in the very next moment, Li Yang finished her sentence. "Every time we tried again, our conversations ended in arguments. I became emotionally exhausted. I was constantly living in fear and under pressure. That's when I realized this relationship could never bring me happiness." As soon as Chen Bing heard those words, he fell silent. For the first time, he had no response. A short while later, Li Yang's former in-laws also shared their thoughts. They said, "If Li Yang sincerely wants to care for her child and rebuild her family, we are willing to welcome her back. The mistakes of the past can be left behind, and a new beginning is always possible." Those words brought tears to Li Yang's eyes. For the first time in years, she felt that she might finally have the chance to build a peaceful home where both she and her child could feel safe and secure. Chen Bing listened quietly. Slowly, he began to realize that love is not about holding on to someone at any cost. If the other person no longer wants to stay, forcing them to remain is not an act of love. It is taking away their freedom. After a long silence, Chen Bing took a deep breath and softly said, "I still love you, but maybe it's finally time for me to let you go." Li Yang didn't reply. She simply nodded, turned around, and quietly walked away. Chen Bing stood there, staring at the door for a long time. He knew that this time, she was truly gone. And perhaps, forever. From that day on, they each chose a different path. Li Yang moved forward, determined to build a peaceful and secure future for herself and her child. Chen Bing, on the other hand, learned one of life's most painful lessons, that true love can never be forced. Calling someone over and over again, sending hundreds of messages, or trying to stop them from leaving is not proof of love. A healthy relationship can only survive through mutual trust, respect, and the willingness of both people. When even one of those foundations disappears, the relationship cannot last. And that is the true lesson of this story. Sometimes, the hardest decision in life is to let someone go. But if that decision leads both people toward a safer, more peaceful, and happier future, then accepting it is the bravest choice of all. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. In your opinion, who do you think was at fault in this story, Li Yang or Chen Bing? Yiwo story hi jo apne muje send nahi ki yi lo.